Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Hey everybody, welcome in. Today we're talking about the new episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's season 6, episode 14. The episode picks up with the meeting that Kimmy and Kiowa were having. Kimmy was saying that she felt that there was a lack of integrity from Kiowa for not stopping the narrative that she was a side chick. And Kiowa simply says, you know what, I have no control over that. But Kimmy says that she understands that she can't control everyone and what they say, but at least she could have said that it wasn't true. And Kiowa, again, very unapologetically, says that's not my responsibility. Then Kimmy says, just like things on the show right now can affect Monster, those things about me maybe being the side chick affected my son. And, they kept going. The conversation ended okay. I mean, Kiowa she does say at the end, she says, okay, let me clarify. You were not the side chick, if that makes anyone happy. But that's probably all they're going to get out of it. They clearly don't like each other, or they're never going to be friends, I will say. But I think they'll be okay. Next up, Stormy finally meets up with Melody because they haven't really had much of a friendship the past few months. So it's time for a one-on-one. Stormy came in with a whole outfit, you guys. She had a blazer, and I found it funny because Mel came in with a hoodie. But the conversation starts good, asking each other how they're doing. But Stormy then brings up that she feels like Mel doesn't like to address things, that she just likes to shut them down. But Melody says that's not true, or else I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have done the tea party. And speaking of the tea party, they talk about Stormy's rude mom. Mel asks if she knew that her mom felt that way. Stormy says that her mom has always been mean to everyone. She didn't say it like that, but that's what I got out of it. And that the only way she likes someone is if they do something like extraordinary for her. That's why I remember being on Aunt Lisa's side, because I remember Stormy's mom being like, she kind of has some bad energy. But anyway, Stormy says that her mom's opinion does not reflect her. And I could definitely understand, maybe it is true, maybe her mom just is like that with everyone, but I also don't think that the mom would just randomly think all these bad things about Melody if Stormy wasn't, saying some of those negative things herself. Mel even throws some shade at Miss Wanda and says that she doesn't want to be fighting with any more mamas. And as far as their friendship, there wasn't a big resolution. It was more of like they're cool with each other and they'll be good if they see each other in public. But I do wonder if that means that in the future they'll just blow up. But we'll see what happens. Okay, next up, the Blaque Expo is coming up. So Tisha and Marsau invite the whole group to come look at the space where the event is going to be at. Everyone likes the place. I will say, when I saw Tisha, I was like, wow, she looks really good. She's been losing some weight. She looks awesome. And guess who else brought that up? Martell. He says, oh, you look like you've been hitting the gym. And she kind of like just laughed, kind of nervous-ish, a little blushing-ish. But I was just thinking, Marsau better watch out. He better watch out. Tisha addresses what everyone wanted to know. That no, Melody will not participate in the expo. She's not really friends with any of them, and I personally think that it had a lot to do with Martell and the child custody case. I think it was way too soon. It was too fresh for her to be around Martell and work with him, so I don't blame her. Maurice voices some concerns that he has, but eventually they all agree and they are in it for the expo. Additionally, though, Stormy and Courtney will be participating, and they also walk into the space to check it out. And as they're walking down the stairs, Marsau says to Martell, please stop looking at my wife like that. Obviously, they were joking, but Martell definitely was looking at that. And her jeans were like super tight, so I can see why he was looking at her. But anyway, Tisha brings up some more ideas of what they can do for the expo, and she's very excited to do this for the community. In this next scene, Maurice takes his son to play some basketball. They have a good time. His son beat him. He's really good at playing. And it looked like he was having some fun, so that was cool. And then after that little game, Maurice asks him, what did he think of the meeting that they all had? He says that it was okay. He just gets tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. Then Maurice starts to lecture him again. Of course, he starts again with when he was his age, he had already done this, he had all these jobs. But this is the interesting part. He says that he now realizes that he can't project that onto him because everyone's different. So it sounds good that maybe he will go at it from a different perspective in a different way. And they end up the conversation pretty good, actually. Maurice says that he wants to get to know him more. And I think they were connecting. He says, feel free to ask me any questions. And the son says, I have a question. Can we go get some food after this? And Maurice says, yes. But again, just remember, those grades and those chores, they have to be at the top of your priorities. The next scene we see is Courtney, Stormy's husband, and he's with his mom, who, by the way, she looks very young. She looks so good. She looks like she could be his older sister, to be honest. But it actually ended up being a very emotional scene because at first they were talking about if they wanted to have another kid because Stormy does, but Courtney doesn't. And as the mom continues to talk about all of that, she brings up Courtney's childhood and the absence of his father. And Courtney couldn't hold it in, y'all. He completely broke down in tears. I felt so bad seeing that because, you know, when a man cries, like when we cry is because like we've been holding it in for so long, you know. And I especially him who is much older, I also want to add that. And I never really cared for him. I always kind of found him a little annoying, but it made me feel for him. And it was clear that he really needed his dad in his life. It was really sad. And then they continue with the conversation, and the mom is encouraging him that he should be open to having another kid. And if they do, not to space out the siblings too far apart, because that also, you know, sometimes they don't connect as much. And he says, you know what, he's definitely going to talk to Stormy about it. And also props to the mom for being so nice and giving great advice and not being crazy mom like the ones we see on these shows. Okay, let's move along to the final part of the episode. It is time for the Blaque Expo. Stormy goes in early to set up her little space. Courtney's not there because he has something to do for the business. Then Tisha comes over. They're going to have 25 vendors at the event. Tisha didn't expect that many people, but she's really happy about it. Tisha then comes over to Stormy's setup, which took up a lot of space. And Tisha is saying that she's taking up like what 2 or 3 people could have also had. But I feel like it's fair only because Stormy is part of the group, if you get what I'm saying. And then Marsau arrives. He came in very aggressively talking about why y'all have balloons, how much did those cost. Then he glances at Stormy's corner and he says to Tisha, does Stormy pay for her spot? And Tisha says, no, but I'm not going to bring that up right now because that's tacky. But she didn't stop him from going over there. So he goes over to Stormy and asks, hey, so did you get time to send the money, those $100? And she says, well, y'all should have said that at the meeting. Then she says that he has some low vibration and you're much bigger than $100. So they go back and forth. And then Marsau calls Tisha over. And Stormy says to her, let me tell you what your husband just did. And she also says to Marsau, don't touch me. And she says, you know, don't be coming at me about no $100 on the day of the event. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if Marsau was being serious because how are you going to be tripping about $100? $100, you guys. Like, what even is that to them, you know? I agree it is tacky, but that was where the episode ended. And then next episode, so even though Melody is not going to be part of the expo, she is going to attend the expo. So that's going to be interesting, and it also looks like Tifanny is going to be a little upset that she wasn't even thought of or approached to be part of it. So like I said, y'all, this episode was really good. I gotta say, when the season began, I was like not feeling it. I was like, oh my god, this is so boring. But these past few weeks, I've really been enjoying the show. It's, picking up and it's becoming pretty entertaining. So yeah, that was it for this episode, you guys. Let me know what were your opinions about the episode in particular. You could talk about Melody and Stormy's friendship, or Courtney and his mom, or also, let me know what are your opinions about Marsau coming up to Stormy about the $100. Do y'all think it's ridiculous like me? Let me know, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.